This here from Zeno. I know that Staffy is going to smile when he reads this. Watch Staffy's face, everybody. Everybody focus on Staffy. He'll smile. I hope Garnacho never makes it as a footballer. Is what Zeno said here. I told you he'd laugh. I know my bro so well. He was poor tonight, wasn't he? It's got to be said, Staffy. He had a bad night tonight.
That kid is dog shit, bro. I can't listen. I can't be nice no more, bro. I just can't, bro. Fuck this shit, bro. I'm going unfiltered again. Those days of me being filtered and trying to be nice, I can't do that no more, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You guys are rattled at Igal today for saying absolutely nothing wrong. You just got cooked by Elanga, who you sold for 15 mil in order to sign 85 mil Anthony, who's now at Real Betis, and today you're losing the 3 points to Elanga. There's nothing about what Igal said that was wrong. When you visit the timeline from when it happened until now, we took a massive L. Because I'll tell you what, if Elanga gets sold today, he's getting sold for more than 30 mil at least. Would we all agree? At least 30 mil for Elanga? We sold him for 15. And the guy that we replaced him with is no longer there. And he did bitch Garnacho on that goal. I'm sorry to tell you, he gave him a stiff arm. He gave you know a stiff arm in the NFL? That's what he did to him. He stiffed him, and then he went ahead and scored. The kid, I mean, you I'm not gonna lie to you, you waffled a lot today. I don't remember the last time you waffled so much. You were saying earlier, what did Elanga do other than that one goal? And I think you mentioned a chance he created. Just him leading the transition every time and taking him to the final third was something that we couldn't do today. Because we had Garnacho every time he gets the ball. He couldn't dribble past Nico Williams once.
That isn't what I said, though. I said that when he went on a counter, he was good. I was talking about the comparison to, again, what I think you've also said about us getting rid of him and who we brought in. I'm not saying we replaced him with better. I'm stating that when Forest attacked, when we had our players back, he and Forest did very, very little. When they transitioned against us, they did well. My point is, Elanga at Man United, in the majority of games we play, teams sit back against us. The question isn't, would he not be a good squad player? This idea, though, that Sky Sports have started, that us allowing Elanga to leave is one of the reasons that we are where we are, I think is an exaggeration and removes the nuance in the conversation. I think we're a team that tries to play on the front foot as regularly as possible. I don't think Elanga is good enough against teams sitting back, being doubled up upon with very little space to run into on a regular basis. I don't think he would be performing like he is at Nottingham Forest. I don't think that's waffle. People can say that's for me, I think it's revisionism. I just don't believe, because I watched those games and I remember what people said about him. He wasn't good enough in those tighter spaces. I'm not saying Garnacho is also, I'm not saying Garnacho is better. Right now, we know that he isn't, but I don't think what I said is personally wrong, but I hear that you see it differently.
So here's the thing. We got sold a dream. We got sold a lie, I should say, that when we got rid of him is because we were going to play more front foot football, and we weren't going to play in the transition as much as we did with Oli. Then we got that bold fraud who actually did the same exact thing, and he just did it in a worse way than Oli did. He played shit transition football, and then we lacked athletes, and it showed. Right now, if we have Elanga, by the way, and KJ would tell me, I actually was okay with Elanga leaving. I wanted him to get sold because I thought I had a different vision of where we're going. But let's be real. If we had Elanga today, he'd be starting for us week in, week out. And it would be no debate. He has more GNA than all of our wingers this season. So we got to hold it for what it is.
Yeah, Staffy, that's the definition of revisionism. So, that's the definition of revisionism.
I'm not revision. Yeah, I didn't revisionize. What did I just say? Yeah. Momo, what did I just say? I said I was okay with him leaving.
I'm just going to give him one example. Staffy, can you have the same argument about McTominay? We watch McTominay at Man United. McTominay's killing it with Napoli. It doesn't. This McTominay might
are you going to admit you were? This is the thing, Staffy. I think a lot of what you said is right, though. Why that I feel it's revisionism, though, versus a fact, is based on a little key thing you said, and that's a nuance. You had a view of the vision of what we wanted to build. Had we have built what you thought we were going to, and that would have been successful, no matter what Elanga was doing now, we wouldn't be saying it was wrong to remove him. We didn't build anything that was.
I didn't say that.
We didn't build anything of quality. We didn't build a team and add individuals to our squad that have been able to improve our attack on a good enough level. If we were trying to play on the front foot like we played today, do you think Elanga makes us, over the course of time, a considerably better and more consistent team against teams that sit back against us? That's the question.
If we had Elanga today in today's in isolation, today's game, yes, we would be better. Now, would we be a great team? That's not what I'm saying. The reason I'm saying I'm not doing revisionism is because I didn't sit here and say we should have never sold him. I said I actually agreed with us selling him. I never liked how much we sold him for. I think we should have gotten more money than just 15 mil. But I was okay with selling him because, as I said, we were sold a lie that was never given to us. Now, here's the thing. The reason I have an issue with it, when I'm sitting here today with an issue with it, because we went ahead and we played against them. Elanga right now is sitting 3rd in the league, and I'm sitting 13th. I don't have better players than Elanga playing in my wings. None of them. You can probably put him and Dorgo on similar status, even though he has a lot more GNA than anyone we have. But he's the closest thing we have to him. We've never replaced him with someone better, and we didn't think he was good enough. That's why I'm sitting here and I'm not happy today.
And it's fine you think that. All I've got to call out is you agree with me that we were right to sell him, but you're saying I'm waffling.
No, I said you were waffling on the part where you're saying he didn't really do much other than the counterattack.
I don't remember what
I thought he did a lot more in the game.
I don't remember Elanga today cutting through us when we were sitting.
This transition was amazing today.
Yeah, but again,
it was amazing.
That isn't what I said, is it? I said on the counter attack he's dangerous. We agree. Yes.
Yeah, but they played on the counter all game. How can I judge them for something else other than that?
But they did attack us at times where we had players behind the ball, where we had our defensive line back, and they didn't lay a finger on us. And that's because I actually don't think if they had Hudson-Odoi and Chris Woodley in the line, it could have actually been different because they had some quality missing. But the idea that Man United today would be a much better team with Elanga in our attack, I think is a huge exaggeration.
It is. I didn't say that. We would be better, but not much better.
Output of a player in a system that is heavily transitional, where they sit back and have less ball than everyone else in the Premier League, and they have miles of space to run into. He is not running up against he ain't being doubled up on like most of our attackers, Chelsea attackers, Liverpool attackers, Arsenal attackers go through. So for me, I feel like it's a flawed argument from the beginning. Is Elanga doing brilliantly? Absolutely. Is he killing it at Forest? Yes, he is. But do I think he'd be doing better at Arsenal or Liverpool, that are brilliant teams, with the way teams sit back against them this year? Would he be delivering the same way? I still believe no, personally.
Yeah, it's funny as well because Elanga would be a right wing back. I think he would be perfect for a right wing back if he was.
He would be. He'd cross at least the ball.
Staffy, you know the difference between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. This is not the norm.
There's a lot of differences.
No. Yeah, what I'm saying. This season is not the norm. This season,
right though.
I'm talking about this season in particular. I'm saying this season is not the norm for Nottingham Forest. That's number one. Number two is a lot of teams, regardless of how bad Man U is, still play a low block against you guys. Why? Because of the name Manchester United. Regardless of what you want to say.
No, not really.
No. I'm saying a lot of teams.
You didn't need to do anything else.
No. I'm saying listen. A lot of teams still.
You're laughing, but it's true, bro. It's the easiest way to play against us. Give us the ball.
So if Elanga was in your team right now because he needs the space and they're playing a low block, he would not be functional in this Manchester United team right now.
He'd be no. I'm sorry. He'd be a lot better than anything we have on the right.
Because teams play a little bit more expansive against Nottingham Forest. Yes, you respect them, but it's Nottingham Forest. So people are not really like this season. I don't think a lot of people have come to the realization of how good they are. Yes, we talk about all the flashes of how they beat, because maybe they lose this one game or they tie this game. We look down on them again as Nottingham Forest. But the point is, in Nottingham Forest, because people are every other team is not playing a low block against them. Elanga has space to counter. He has space to move. His best strengths are really.
Brother, we had so much space to play against a lot of teams this season. What are you talking about? It's not true.
Listen,
again,
it's not true. I don't even want to talk about Elanga the whole time. I just wanted to make a point.
But the reason why Elanga's coming up is comments like this: Forest before Elanga were bottom 3, Forest with Elanga are top 3. This is removing everything else that's gone into that system and the way they play. And eventually, what's going to happen with Forest is teams are going to sit back deeper, and you're going to see a change. And equally, Steffi, where I get where you're coming from is he better than some of the attackers we have now? And could he do a job for us? Could he do that right wing back role? Yes. But I don't think we should be moving away from what I believe we were right about 2 years ago. Is he truly good enough as an attacker to help get us to where we want to be as a football
that's
club?
what I'm trying to get into. That is the whole point why I started with Elanga.
But that's why I'm not doing the same thing about McTominay. I know Scott McTominay isn't a good enough central midfielder to truly make us one of the best teams in Europe again. Just because he's doing well at Napoli doesn't think we made a mistake. It's about what else comes in my personal view.
Everyone's missing my point. I didn't even get to finish it. My point is that 2 years after selling him,
Yeah,
we
we're
still don't
supposed
have
to.
better players than him on the pitch.
Yeah.
That is my
That-
biggest issue.
I agree.
Today we had almost 70% possession, 24 shots with only 6 of them on target. And I couldn't tell you what the 6 on target were. I generally couldn't. A couple of them were just like easy headers where the goalkeepers had it. We had like a 2 point something XG today. One of the worst stats I've seen all season. Because there's games where I sat here, I'm like, you know what? We were unlucky. Today, I mean, I would say a big chunk of that XG came from that last minute chance from Maguire. And that's something, another thing that I want to bring up. Listen, the players are shit. I mentioned them a few times. And I'm tired of everyone trying to defend a lot of these players. I hope we stop talking about...
Staffy, what was Casemiro like? What was Casemiro like
It
today?
was decent today.
I actually didn't mind him that much. I was actually
he
upset that I
good
was
then.
weirded out
in there, isn't he?
he the fact that he got benched, he watches my watch-alongs. That's why he's asking me on purpose. I thought it was weird that he got benched, that he got subbed out before Garnacho. I thought it was weird that Xerxes got subbed out before Garnacho. How Garnacho saw 90 minutes was beyond me. Bruno. I mean, without the GNA, this is the old Bruno. He looked very, very ugly today without the GNA. But the biggest thing I want to mention, Amorim today, I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed at Amorim. And I said this on my watch along, honestly. I said if John Cena can turn heel on the WWE universe, trust me, Amorim, I can turn heel on you. Because what the fuck were these substitutions that I saw today? I'm seeing Chido Obi not even being on the bench, and then I'm putting a Maguire cameo in the end of the game being striker. He knows that this team can't score goals. How do you not have more attackers on the bench? How are you bringing on Maguire to play as a second striker with like 10 minutes left when you could have had another striker on the bench? Now, I don't care if he's 16, 17, 18. I don't give a fuck. Hendrick today, I'm seeing him chipping Real Sociedad's goalkeeper. So age is age. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
But you got to put him on the bench.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah,
this.
yeah,
guy's
yeah,
I watched him.
Why is he not there?
Hang on.
I
Sorry,
knew Obi playing.
you watched him last night, didn't you? You went to the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. He played 120 minutes in that game.
Oh, he
And
played
he
for
asked also-
under 18s?
Yeah, in the FA Youth Cup, I was there, and I'm not gonna lie, he weren't amazing either. You know what I mean? So it's not like he was.
Nothing about the team is amazing. But you're not getting me, KJ. I'm desperate right now.
No, I get
So when
what
I'm
you're
desperate,
saying.
I need to clinch onto every penny I have.
Yeah,
If
and
I'm
I get
broke
what you're
right
saying,
now, and you see me going to the mall, you slap me. You say,
Would you
You have to
trust
pay your rent. Why am I not putting strikers on the bench?
Genuinely in life, though, would you trust the opinion of a man who is admitting he's desperate? Would you trust the views and the behavior of someone who said they're desperate? I don't think I would.
As a United fan, I'm
Again,
desperate.
listen, I also thought.
Don't you think
actually
Amarim's
thought-
desperate as well, Staffy?
I think
Amarim's
Maguire was
probably also
unlucky that he
desperate.
had-
Probably for a good
I'm
attack.
getting tired of that guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I defend him a lot, but
actually
today he really
The
pissed me
plan
off.
was worse. Maguire
the
almost
biggest
scored,
mistake-
like, it got blocked.
the-
on the line.
I mean,
I wanted
the
him to, don't get me wrong. I get here, but listen, bro. I sit here and I'm pissed. I promise you, if Garnacho, after this stinker he had today, would have scored the winner, I still would have celebrated. Don't listen to this Terry guy. Terry's a fraud. He presents that I sit here and I hit these players. I don't, bro. It's a little bit of banter. But I don't care who the fuck scores. Just put the ball in the back of the net.
nothing.
I
I said nothing.
But did Maguire thing though? He had 2 chances to win us the game. How's that? How can you blame Amorim for the sub when the sub actually almost did his job? It wasn't Amorim's fault that he didn't do his job.
No, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. But it's fine that I knew Maguire would come on. He'd probably get like a header or a little tap, and that's fine. My issue is that you know that this team doesn't score enough goals. Why don't you have enough attackers on the bench? You don't have enough You don't have enough goals in this team.
Staffy, so you'd rather have a
You need
load
to
of
put every attacker you have on
Do
the
you want
bench.
academy kids all on the bench for attackers? Really? Come on.
What's that?
Like, would you rather just have a bench full of academy kids that are attackers?
No, I
Come
just
on,
want to
let-
see attackers, bro.
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
but that's all we've got. The thing is, as well, right? This is where I understand the desperation. But if Man United are assessing and this is why I know we want everything now. I know we want to improve. We want to be better. We want the squad to be, but we want perfection today. In an ideal world, I get it. But if the Man United team have been watching him in first team training for the last month, and they're just saying he isn't ready, giving someone opportunities before they're ready can actually damage them more in the longer term. And we are buying these young assets and these young players and we want to return on them in the future. So I get where you're coming from. I think the thing for me is that I know you don't hate on all these players. I get a lot of what your frustrations are today. I only really felt the biggest mistake from the manager was 2 things. One, I would have started with Rasmus. I think that I feel like
midfield he started. Oh my god! Don't even get me started.
But
on that.
again, the midfield wasn't too much of an issue because again,
Of course it was. It was trash. That's why he took off Ugarte in 45 minutes.
Hang on, please.
50 million shink picker.
Please,
Putting him
please,
next to Casemiro, and we're not
hang
doing
on.
anything.
Just stop having just stop. I know it's time of the month, right? But just slow down a minute, right?
We just fucking lost. We're sitting 13th, and you're
not-
wondering
and
why
you're
I'm
not
rambling
thinking
on.
logically. I get what you're
Listen,
saying.
admit you're waffling.
I get
Bro, I
what
told
you're
you
saying.
political stuff is gone, bro.
I
I'm
know
unfiltered
we
again.
were up against today a very powerful team, and again, the idea of that midfield to begin with was to try and stop them from consistently being able to run through us with power. And barring that opening goal, it did its job. I feel the mistake the manager made was I think he had Maz and Euro on the wrong side, because I think that the left-hand side needed that combination of the two together, and it looked quite good in the previous few games that they played. Where I also agree with you is I wouldn't have taken you. I know he wanted to drop Bruno deeper and change something up, but I would have taken Garnacho off the pitch for Rasmus Højlund as an example. I would have kept that midfield together as long as I could. I know why we brought Eriksen on, but for me, when you put Eriksen into central midfield, we then became more susceptible for those counterattacks. But equally, we don't have many other options, and it's difficult when that's why the summer transfer window is so important to us. I really would agree, but at the same time, look, I'm not just blaming sort of the usual players we go for, Garnacho and Bruno. I thought that Xerxes on the ball today was he gave the ball away needlessly, easily 6 or 7 times. It was
I was
terrible.
gonna say, would you sell him now?
Yes,
Would you actually
you
sell
know
him?
what? And I thought about it. I'm a guy that likes to give players a year or like at least 2 years to show that they can do something. And I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, cool. He's not a number 9. He ain't gonna score me goals. And the only place he can play is in this 10 role. But in this 10 role, we need him to ball carry. And yes, my man can do a ball roll. He can do a little shimmy and he can do a nutmeg and he can do a flick round the corner. But after you do that and there's yards of space in front of him to run into, by the time he gets to the ball, the defender's caught up to him. Flipping why? I can't be doing it no more. And if you can't be bursting past man after you've just gotten past them, I'm sorry, you got no space for this team. And I don't care that he's techie. I get it. He's techie. He can do nice link up. He did nice link up today. I admit that. Some of the things that he was doing, cool. But you cannot do the fundamentals of what we need you to do, which is to run at speed and to score goals.
But
and
also,
that, sorry.
What he also struggled with today, Xerxes, is there was a lack of space for him. So when he was getting the ball, because of the way Forest play, they're so deep, they're so compact. But what they do brilliantly is they're all their players. Like Yates is probably their least, or maybe Nico Williams, their least physical. But they're still more physical than most players in our team. He was just struggling with that element of the football match. And